Welcome to Nintendo K channel. I am Danny. Today I'll be unboxing and showing you guys the Nintendo GameCube controller for the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm really excited to be revisiting a classic controller from the early 2000s, playing the original GameCube with the various games. And since I'm unboxing, I'll be showing you guys various games that you could play on the Nintendo Switch 2 that may or may not work well. We'll find out together because I don't know, because I haven't touched it yet. But I'll be unboxing and show you guys and telling you what you need to know about the controller itself. All right, so before I get into the packaging itself, I want to show you what's around. We have the Nintendo Switch Online logo there. It does say a Nintendo GameCube controller on the top side, just the Nintendo logo. On the side panel, it's just red, nothing there. Nothing printed on this side as well. This end here. And on the back side, okay, so there's some information on this end. You have some description of the controller and the various connections. So this is some important stuff if you're interested in reading. But of course, I'm gonna get right into it and have some fun with you guys finding out together. All right, let's unbox this. All right, so pulling out the packaging, I'm gonna pull this slit up. Okay, so you have a little extra here. This is the USB cable to charge it. There is a USB-C to a USB-A, so you can connect this to the Nintendo Switch 2 dock, and this part goes onto the Nintendo GameCube controller here. Okay, so we'll take a look at the controller in depth, and here we are, the beautiful Nintendo Game controller. This is the indigo color, the classic one. I do remember back in the early 2000s with the original release of the GameCube console. You do have this color and also the black, but this is one of those that you can look back to and look fondly. I'm just looking around for the first time in the studio here. The analog stick feels nice and tight, very nice. The D-pad feels really authentic. I do remember this being very small when I got the GameCube back then. The C stick used a lot of times for camera control. B, very clicky buttons, same thing like the original GameCube. And a start button, a little bit quieter when you press it, so that's accurate. On the top side here, we have a little battery. You can see this is the sync indicator. We have the analog triggers, so it does have a travel distance. So this is, you press all the way down, and it does have a button click at the bottom when you go all the way down. That's actually accurate. That's nice. We do have a new button here for the ZL. This is to use for going back in the menu when you play on the Nintendo Switch Online service, the games fair. You have a sync button. This is the new C button. So this is the new function on Nintendo Switch 2. Use that button, the camera, the chat, the game chat. This is the USB-C connector. So you use the cable that they presented earlier to connect this USB-C part here, and the other side USB-A to the Nintendo Switch dock to charge it. This is the photo capture button, and this is the home button. So you have everything you need to navigate back to the menu or navigate throughout the menu in various sub-menus. This is the Z button, very familiar for Nintendo GameCube fans like myself. Use this quite a bit. And of course, with the classic GameCube, there's no other button like in terms of game control. You're so used to having like 4 shoulder buttons, but this one has 1 Z button there. So pretty cool. So I brought out my old trusty GameCube controller. This is one of the variations that I have. And what's cool about this one here, it's kind of authentic. It has the cable, so you know that it's from the original. So let me go to this one here. You see the buttons are very clicky. C stick, tight. This is in good condition, so I can give it direct comparison. It actually feels very tight as well. The analog stick, it has a travel distance when you press on the shoulder buttons, the Z. Now let me go to the new one. Okay, so just going by the direct comparison, the buttons do feel more clickier on the new one. That's possibly due to age, because I did use this quite extensively playing Super Smash Brothers. So yeah, it definitely is more clickier sounding for the new one. But all in all, pretty similar. So I'm gonna use the same thumb so I can get a feel direct. It's pretty tight, very similar. maybe a little more tighter because again, This is not used yet. This is brand new. This one feels really nice. I love the analog stick. And going to this one here. Yeah, this one feels really close. The analog stick, I feel like it's actually very close there. So let me see the shoulder buttons. Putting that to the side. Yeah. Feels pretty good. And the Z button on top. These buttons feels pretty good, pretty accurate to the original. So yeah, all in all, I think that's a good comparison that they remade it. So looking in the back, I can see that the GameCube controller has a little bit difference here. The new one has different labeling. This one has Nintendo logo, same thing as the old one. Difference is this one here has other information. This one does have the model number of the DOL 003. And as Nintendo GameCube logo. The screws are the same. It's still a tri-wing. So I like to see that they kept it authentic from that. But on that, there's little minor differences with the logo there, but essentially exact same thing. So pretty cool. All right. Okay, so now I think it's time to try it out in action. I'm going to show you various games, but I will try it out and then I'll get back to you in a moment. So give me a second. Okay, so I am back and I got to play 5 games. I tried, obviously, the Nintendo Switch online games, the GameCube games exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2. First game, I popped in right away because I want to get right into the action. That is Soul Calibur 2, a fighting game classic featuring Link and various characters from this Soul Calibur universe. And it's one of my favorite games of the console. So first thing first, the moves transition perfectly to this port on the Nintendo Switch 2. I was able to move around, do my typical actions, and you can see on screen I'm using Link and doing a lot of the throws, the attacks perfectly, just as I remember it back all those years. The next game I was able to try out is F-Zero GX, a really, really cool racing game with the F-Zero in there. It was a collaboration with Nintendo and Sega, so believe it or not, that was one of those early collaborations. And I love again, another one that ported very well to Nintendo Switch 2. Looks amazing, plays amazing. The control is exactly as I remembered it playing all those years back. And of course, I remember that every little minutia of movement on the analog sticks makes a big difference. So you could be ramming to the walls or getting those boosts correctly, all that stuff. Definitely you gotta get your skills back up, because it took me quite a bit to. I'm like, when I first started, I was like, wow, I'm a little rusty, and I think this game is a good way to get back into the blood pumping action. The next game I got to try out is one of the best and classic games for the Nintendo GameCube. Is The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. What can I say? I love this game. It looks magnificent in on Nintendo Switch 2. It looks very sharp, very colorful. As you know, that this cell shading style transitioned very well over the years, and it has a timeless look. So going to the GameCube controller, playing with it, everything is transitioned correctly. My only gripe with it, I'm gonna be honest, is that it feels a little sensitive. I don't know, maybe because it's due to the time that I haven't played this game since the original GameCube release. But every movement on the camera C-stick, I use the C-stick for the camera, obviously, and moving with the main analog stick, moving Link around, it feels like every slight movement, the camera goes too much, overshoots, or my movement is a little bit hard to navigate in a straight line because of that sensitivity. So that's something that may need to be ironed out by Nintendo down the line. I can't say for sure. Maybe it's been such a long time I haven't played the GameCube, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, for me to kind of give you a good reflection of how that is. But yeah, that's how I think of it so far. So the next game I got to play, getting out of the Nintendo Switch online games, I got to play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, one of my favorite games, fighting game, of course, for the original Nintendo Switch, full of characters. You know the deal, very frenzied fighting game. It works flawlessly. So if you had the GameCube adapter and you played the GameCube controller, that method, this transitioned very well. I feel like this is like the perfect wavebird. If you remember back then, the wavebird is a good way to play the game controller, but in a wireless fashion. But it didn't have rumble. What I did notice, I was playing it, it had all the rumble features built in. So it's wireless, it's rumble, so it's in a sense it's better than the original Wavebird. Then it has the same form factor as the original GameCube. So perfect, match there with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And I can imagine, getting 4 of these if you can. I don't know, it's possible because I only got 1 myself. That would be a perfect way to play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And the last game that I had to try is Super Mario Sunshine. That is absolutely the top of my list in terms of my favorite games on Nintendo GameCube. You have the flood, the tropical environments. Mario's on vacation. He got some kind of trouble, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't played it. I do highly recommend you get to play it if you haven't done so. It works flawlessly. Flood, you're hovering in the air, moving around, doing somersaults, just jumping around the field. It's such a joy to play it authentically with the Nintendo GameCube controller. So what can I say? All the games, all in all, are perfect usage of the Nintendo GameCube controller. I highly recommend it, especially if you want the authentic feel as you play, your various games, and maybe some surprises. You could be crazy about playing some games that are missing another shoulder button here, right? Who knows? But it's up to you how you want to play it. But especially the 5 games that I played works well. Nintendo will be releasing more GameCube games down the line. I'm pretty sure this is only a start. Only 3 has launched with the system, and I can't wait to play more classic games on the Nintendo GameCube games on Nintendo Switch 2. If you guys like my impressions and also unboxing of the Nintendo GameCube controller for Nintendo Switch 2, I do appreciate a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. Let me know you like this kind of stuff, and we will do more of it in the future. Subscribe to Nintendo K if you haven't done so. As always, I'm Danny, and I'll catch you on the next one.